I'm bored. Let's react to EFAP reacting to me. All right, I'm going to be straight up with you guys, fam. I don't typically like reacting to reactions of me. I think I've done it like a couple of times for the lifetime of my channel, typically because people have asked me to do it. And that's why I'm doing this. People wanted me to react to what EFAP was saying about me. This is a really long video. It's really long. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it up into two parts. Today, you're going to get part one. Tomorrow, you will get part two. They're going to be long. These guys make long videos. So you got to double that length for me to react to it. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And unlike most people, I don't have an issue with them doing long videos, but you can be long and wrong. Meaning you can spend 4 hours talking shit about somebody and still be wrong as fuck. Now, I haven't seen all of this. Little prefacing before we get into it. I haven't seen all of this, but I've seen bits and pieces of it through other people, like other people's streams. Bob, I think, reacted to it. I don't know if he reacted to the whole thing, but I caught some of it. I've heard other people talking about it. I've seen clips from other people. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I'm going to assume based on what I've seen, it's not very good. I wasn't really impressed with what they were giving. So we're going to go through this and just see how bad faith it is. Also, apparently there's a lot of banter in this that has nothing to do with my video. So any skips in this video, and I want to make this very clear because their fans will come for this. Any skips in this video are going to be over meaningless banter. Okay, so if it does not directly have anything to do with what I'm talking about in the video, we're skipping it. Okay. Let's get into this.
It's our show. We can just fucking quit whenever we want to. So don't you worry.
Exposed for lying. Here we go.
He lied again.
Liar. Come on, I'm gonna reference them all.
Lies. Why are you lying? Stop lying.
Please stop lying. What is wrong with you?
I've spent 4 years of my life.
I want to say, like, this is just priming you guys for these folks being just bad faith, right? Like, already being juvenile at the beginning of the video, talking shit, which I appreciate. But if you're going to talk shit, you have to have some truth in there. You have to have some earnestness. You have to be honest in there. I don't think we're going to get a lot of that from these guys. I just don't think we are.
4 days,
30
sorry.
years of my life. Oh, I mean,
4 years is funnier, though.
4 years is funny.
I'm bored, and today we're going to talk about a bunch of liars.
Ooh.
But I absolutely enjoyed myself with this movie. I've already seen it twice. I know a bunch of people that have seen it at least once over this weekend. Some people that have...
You know, I saw it 3 times and I wasn't even bored.
Did you know that the
times
anecdotes are just kind of meaningless, honestly?
That's why I
don't know what the point is.
It makes
Anecdotes are meaningless. Is that what they said? Let me run that back. Hold on.
You know, I saw it 3 times and I wasn't even bored.
Did you know that
4
the
times
anecdotes are just kind of meaningless?
The anecdotes are meaningless. This is really fucking funny. Coming from a group that sits around and just talks about stuff completely unrelated to what the videos are. Like stuff going on in their life day to day, how they feel about something at any given moment. They have the nerve to say an anecdote specifically about a movie that you're giving a subjective opinion on is meaningless. They have the nerve to say this on a podcast where I would say at least half of it is meaningless banter. Just unbelievable.
Honestly,
That's why
I don't know what the point is.
It makes the box office sadder knowing that it was just people going multiple times.
So now going to see a movie multiple times means that it's sad. That it's a sad thing that people want to go see films multiple times. Because if he's equating the box office, the numbers, then we might as well pack it up right now. We might as well pack it up. What are we doing? If all we're talking about is box office numbers, why do you spend hours and hours and hours going over little nuances of film and movies if it's just about the box office? Because if I go and see a movie multiple times, regardless of what the movie is, whether it's this movie or another movie, that means that I like the movie and there's other people that like the movie, which would suggest that there are people that enjoyed the movie enough to go and spend their money on tickets multiple times, opposed to a lot of these guys like Critical Drinker who just watch pirated versions of it. They don't even spend their money. They're not even contributing to the ecosystem. Not only are they not spending money to go and see these projects in theaters to stimulate the economy of film, but they're profiting off of illegal rips of the movies. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that, right? So if your issue is it's sad that people went and saw it multiple times because the box office is low, I don't even know how to process that as a criticism of the quality of the film. I don't even understand the correlation there.
The same person.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, I just referenced one of the earliest EFAP memes of all time. It's when I Hate Everything was talking about, I think, TLJ, right? Where he was in defense of TLJ, said, I watched it 3 times and I wasn't even bored.
And I wasn't even bored.
Which is so irrelevant. It's just like, okay.
Yeah. Because normally the one we talk about is the Chris Stuckman.
We skipped a whole bunch of that. That's going to happen a few times in this video. There's a bunch of nonsensical stuff about Chris Stuckman. I skipped over it. Also, going to watch it again, like myself.
Cool.
But look, here's the other Predator films. It is the one with the absolute.
Oh wow!
High...
Oh wow! The cinema score,
bro.
Oh, that's amazing! Look at that cinema score. It's so high. I really care about the cinema score for the Predator franchise.
Well, that was definitely a thing back in 1987.
Oh,
Predator getting that B plus ripperoo.
Yeah, which I mean, it's kind of awkward because when you show me that, it's like, well, I don't really care what the system is on its own terms. When you show me that this film is rated higher, I really don't care.
The reason why cinema score is so highly regarded is it is going out and speaking directly to the most engaged moviegoers. Okay, cinema scores gives people a card to give it a rating, A to F, and then people turn that card in. There's no contamination from any of this content online. It's just people going to the movies on opening night because they only do it on opening night. So there's no contamination from like spoiler reviews or anything like that. These are people going to the film, just giving a score of what they thought about the film without any additional persuasion or commentary or anything like that. It's probably one of the best systems for gauging where a movie is for the most engaged and loyal fans of not only the projects that are in theaters, but movies in general. So it's a little weird that you would say that. Secondly, cinema score has been around. I don't know the exact date, but I know it's been around since at least the 80s, probably earlier than that. And it's a little weird. It's a little weird if you're fans of these guys. It's a little weird that you would be fans of people that critique movies at supposedly a high level, but they have no idea how long cinema scores has been around. Matter of fact, how would this cinema score, how would this one be better than the one from any of the other films if it wasn't around prior to that? How would we compare it if there wasn't a previous cinema score? But these are your guys, right? These are your guys. Okay.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't cinema score when it's based on polling when walking out of the theater?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, so how the fuck does the audience have the first 2 movies? That shit didn't exist back then.
It did. And you not knowing that is a big red flag. Is this Dark Tower? Is that this guy's name? Dark Tower, Fringy, Mauler, Rags, and Little Platoon. The fact that you don't know that, like, why would you even say that? Why would you leave it in here? That means they didn't even go back, because this is an upload, I think, right? It's not a live. This isn't the exact live stream. I'm watching the upload. Why not go back and take this out? Why not edit the shit out when you're wrong like this? Okay.
Is it based on like reviews at the time or something?
Not reviews.
I would imagine it's based.
It can't be based on the reviews because they poll people on the opening night. So the only thing they're going to get, depending on how the embargo goes, is maybe 24 hours of actual reviews typically for these movies. Like, not, especially if you're going back to the 80s. It wasn't like today where you have people spoiling films 3 days before they come out. So it would have been even less contaminated back in the 80s. The original Predator movies were not like these big, well-regarded films like they are now. That's just the reality of it.
Movie Cynic will always, like, by habit, rate, like, take any cinema score view and automatically knock it down basically 2 letters for general audience sentiment. Because
why would you do that? Why would you knock off cinema score points for general audiences? Please, I hope you explain why here.
They go to the theater, as I understand it, on day of release and interview people who are coming out of theater.
They don't interview them. They just get cards from them. They don't even talk to them.
On the day of release. But obviously, those are disproportionately likely to be the people who are most likely to like the thing. So to extrapolate the general audience principles, you have to kind of knock it down a bit. The most ardent Predator fan will go into Predator Badlands and, well, actually, will they come out liking it if they...
Okay, so... Again, you could have clipped this out. You could have clipped it out. You're telling on yourself here because you're saying that you need to knock down the points off of the score because of general audiences. Because I guess the movie being made specifically for fans of Predator, which would be the case, like a lot of these movies, you want to get those engaged fans of these IPs out to the theaters on opening night. So the Predator fans would be the ones going there on opening night. And then the casual general audiences would be much later. So that's why they wouldn't poll them. It doesn't make sense to do that. It would be a contaminated score at that point. So you're saying here that the most loyal fans of Predator should not be the ones scoring Predator, but then you frame it as if the general audience would score it lower because they're not the most hardcore fans. You're telling on yourself.
Pretty Predator fans.
You would think that they'd hate it the more familiar they are with Predator.
Right, which breaks your theory. If Predator fans are rejecting this movie, but they're also the fans that would be going to the movie first on opening night, then the score would be lower. That's the issue. The score would be lower. If the most engaged fans were there on opening night, and they're the ones that hate the shit, like you guys say, then they would have scored it lower. It would be lower than this.
But some people are just fans of an aesthetic.
Oh.
And Cynic is usually like spot on.
Right.
Like when it comes to this kind of stuff and box office, I think he's undefeated, to be honest.
Yeah, you know the one thing is this masturbation session that these guys do. They all think they know better than anybody working in the industry. They know better than everybody under the sun how all of this works. Just in the last 2 minutes we've been watching this video, they don't understand how Cinema Score works. They don't know when it came out. Lil Platoon here, Lil Wayne, Lil Platoon here, basically argued himself into a corner and then got bailed out by Rags. God, these guys are they're so bad. Anybody that comes in my comments and tries to back these guys up, what the fuck are you doing? What this is easy for me. This is fucking easy. If this is how all of this is going to be, it's going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Cinema Score. Let's take a look at some of the coping, some of the lies, some of the misinformation and disinformation from a lot of the channels out there and accounts that you guys are used to seeing, just to see where everybody is at this moment. Here's one that goes, Predator Badlands perfectly demonstrates how the great feminization has destroyed culture. The Predator is guided by a female character on an emotional journey, helping him become vulnerable, get in touch with his feelings, and choose friendship over family. This is such a completely disingenuous take on the movie. First of all, not a female, because this character is not a human.
That's the first thing you say.
What are you doing?
Anybody besides me read that in Despot's accent?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No, I don't know.
I'm just glad it wasn't just me.
Not a female at Android. Jesus.
Yeah, because female is a biological category. Female is a biological category. So the feminization in this regard, because your group, at least everyone in your group that I've ever listened to, associates gender and sex as the same thing. So that means feminization, female here, would be leaning into a biological component. And the android, the synthetic, is not female. The android presents as a woman. This android, the synthetic, is designed to look like a woman, which is a gender category, which is a social category. I'm pointing out that it's not a biological component here to the feminization of this film, which is what this tweet was insisting here.
All right.
This is legitimately, this was the weird thing. Because as far as I know, this guy's super lefty. So when I heard him say...
Actually not. I would say just little let's stray a little out here. Most people that know me would consider me to be a progressive liberal, not really a super leftist. There's people on the left of me, far beyond the left of me, right? And that's fine. I get along with everybody, left of center, really. But I would not be considered a super leftist. That's just a complete misunderstanding of me in general. I'm not. Like, anybody that hangs around my streams or knows me IRL, like, they would know that I'm not some super leftist. But anyway, let's continue.
Say this. I was like, oh, that's bizarre that you're saying. This is actually a bizarre take that you have, that by technicality of her not being like flesh and blood human.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, that's the category. The fact that this android, this woman android is not flesh and blood, that is what makes her not female, because it's a biological classification. I don't know why that's bizarre to you.
A she, that it can't be a female. This is legitimately wild.
They're not biological. She's a synth. Just like every other humanoid character.
She's not a synth. Yes. He can't even keep up in real time. He's betraying his own opinion.
Why is he? Why? What do you do? Why?
I'm referring to her as she because the synthetic presents as a woman, which is not a biological category. It is a social category. Because we as human beings typically relay information phenotypically. Like, that's how we view gender. Because you don't meet someone and see their dick or their pussy out, right? If you're just going based on that in your mind, if that's what you're thinking, like, oh, what kind of genitals do they have? Even that would be somewhat phenotypic. It would be to some degree, because no one goes around testing people's chromosomes and DNA to find out specifically what their biological sex is, right? We don't function that way as human beings. We function on phenotypic traits, social traits, because that's how it is when we go out and about. Socializing, day to day. That's how we do it. So yes, calling this android she or her as a gender category is fine, because gender doesn't necessarily require a biological component. I know that breaks your brains, but that's just the reality of it.
I guess he hasn't got anything else to say. I don't know.
I don't know, man. This was just one of those wacky, weird things the guy decided to say in his video, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. We'll be covering that.
In this movie, outside of the Predator, is a synthetic. They're not male or female because they're not biological.
He caught himself.
Yeah.
So it is caught myself. I can assure you, every single fucking person on this panel, I know a lot more about gender studies and a lot more about how gender, sexuality, sex all apply to each other. I could run rings around every single one of you. So I didn't catch myself. Just as I explained right now, directly to everyone watching this video, there's a different classification when it comes to biological components and social components. How people are viewed in day-to-day society is a gendered view. It is not a biological view. Most people you meet, you will never know biologically if they are male or female. You'll never know that for sure. You'll never know. So you're going to rely on gender. Gender is the way you're going to do that. So yeah, the synthetic is presenting as a woman, but biologically is not a female. It's really not that hard, but I know these guys don't understand that. Android or a synthetic that looks like a woman. Right. No female stuff going on there whatsoever. Right. Before we move on to
she doesn't have any woman parts.
No female stuff going on.
Yeah,
but also
the complete lack of vagina. So
both of the Kallisks are female.
What does that have to do with anything? I was talking about the synthetic, not the other creatures on the planet. That's completely unrelated to the comment I was making. But okay.
Yep.
And they are alive. So
what does that have to do with it?
I don't know why he's doing this, honestly.
Because I was responding specifically to what I was talking about and the tweet that I was reading. The Kallisk wasn't part of that comment. It wasn't part of that tweet either. Bad faith, bad arguments. These are your guys, right?
It's so weird.
I think it's in term, because I would be more than happy to say like Data's male.
Not male. Data's not male. Data is a man. You could say that Data's presenting as a man, but Data is not male. Male is a biological category.
Like obviously Data's male. Edie's obviously female, you know.
Of course.
Rags, I don't care what you say. This is just looking at this guy, I accept all of his opinions on gender.
Well,
true.
And you should. You should, because I know a lot more than you. I know you're saying that sarcastically, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. But that's the truth. Like, that's the one true thing you've actually said. I know more about gender identity, gender studies, biology. I know more about that than anyone in this group. So everything you're saying, all the stuff you guys are saying, is completely pointless.
He's got a lot of merch. So
in the movie itself, Thea says to Tessa, "We can be sisters."
Right. Sisters is not a biological classification necessarily, right? So you have biological sisterhood, you have stepsisters, half sisters. You could consider someone a sister just because you're close with them. That person is like a sister to me. You could consider that. There's tons of groups called the Sisterhood of XYZ because it is a phrase that women use between each other. The sisterhood, right? That's a phrase they use. It's a religious term as well. So I don't really know what your point is. Calling someone a sister is not necessarily, it doesn't require a biological component. And it was one-sided. It was one-sided because she wanted Tessa to accept her in this way because she changed her views on their dynamic based on the relationship that the Predator had with his brother. So that's why that was the situation. It was one-sided, and yeah, it doesn't require any sort of like biological element.
Sisters.
That is her line in the film. She regards herself as female. She presents as female.
She never calls herself female in the movie. She never says that. You don't know that she regards herself as any sort of sex at all. It's not even a topic. It's not even mentioned in there. Matter of fact, in my video here, and I don't know at what point I talk about it, but you could change the gender of the synthetics to men, and it would still be the same story. All you have to do is change some of the terminology, but the overall story would remain the same.
She talks as female. The pronoun you used is female.
No, the pronoun I used is gender. It's a gendered pronoun. She, her applies to gender as well as sex. It's an interchangeable thing. I was using it in application to gender.
It's such a non-answer to try and actually your way out of that. Just address the point that's being made or don't, but don't try and circumvent it.
Circumvent what? What was I circumventing? I made the statement. That was my statement. Why would I be trying to circumvent my own statement? Again, I know a lot more about this than you do, so kindly shut the fuck up about it. Next one, I just want to point out that right now, as it ranks, Predator Badlands is in the top.
I'm sorry, this becomes...
I enjoy the...
It's just worthless the second we see Predator is. It's like, oh, no, I don't care.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's just to me that it's already like, so you're one of those guys. You really care about Rotten Tomatoes and cinema scores.
I'm not, quote, one of those guys. If you've ever watched any of my other content, and trust me, there's lots of it where I talk about this, I don't typically use Rotten Tomatoes as a metric of quality. I do use it as an aggregate for scores because that's the function of it. The function of it is to look at the scores and what the scores are leading us to in terms of like what other people think about the film, right? It doesn't speak to quality. Someone can hate a movie that's a fantastic movie. You could go and see a movie and think it's complete shit, and you're 1% of the group that thinks it's shit. Everybody else thinks it's really good. That's not really what I'm trying to convey here. What I'm saying here is that in terms of a group score, an aggregated score, this is where everything ranks according to Rotten Tomatoes, because Rotten Tomatoes doesn't create scores. They aggregate stuff. That's how it functions. So I'm using multiple sources, facts about the movie in regards to the franchise. That's what I'm doing. You don't have to like my sources, but what else? What would you use? What's the place that you guys would use? Where would you go to get the most accurate numbers from the largest group of people? Other than Cinema Score, which is based on opening night fans going in and scoring it on opening night, and Rotten Tomatoes, where you get a pool of critics and fans over a large period of time. What other site would you go to? IMDb? You probably would hate that too. Metacritic? What other site would you use? I'm very curious which one they would use.
Like, just, you already know what I'm talking about. This is just a certain cohort of people who talk about
any
movies.
validation I can get.
It's the Grace
any
Randall
external validation.
It's very much that camp. The kind of people who really
the people that know that CinemaScore existed prior to the 2000s. That group of people, the group of people who understand that sex and gender are different and that pronouns apply to both sex and gender, that group of people, is that what you're talking about? People who are just a lot smarter than you? People who understand society a lot better than you? People that show their face on camera? Is that what you're talking about? I'm just curious because you keep trying to say that I'm this, that, and the other, and I don't think you've really done enough digging to know that about me, and you've watched very little of my video. But I'm very, very well informed about your community. Very well informed.
would love to get invited to, like the events. And
no, I've actually said I don't want to. See, this is what I'm talking about. I've said many times, I don't want to be someone that interviews stars. I used to interview actors back in the day. I don't have any interest in doing that. I don't care about going to red carpet. I run 3 other businesses outside of YouTube. This is not me trying to sort of get some sort of bonus for making content. That's not what I'm doing here. My purpose of my channel is to debunk misinformation, disinformation, and bad faith actors on social media. That is the point of my channel. If I wanted to get in good with the studios and try and do things with like red carpet events and stuff, I would not be doing this kind of content. I would be doing a completely different kind of content. But, whatever is their cope for my video.
Premieres and stuff like that.
All the matters.
It's just, I'm not interested in this realm of media analysis at all because it isn't even really me.
I'm not analyzing anything. Where have I analyzed anything? There's no analyzing. I'm showing 2 different charts that display scores of some type for the movie. I haven't analyzed anything. The only bit of information I provided is the rebutting of the tweet. I haven't analyzed anything yet. Matter of fact, I don't think I analyzed anything in this video at all.
Video analysis.
I want to hope that those aren't his prescription glasses, by the way, because those are terrible.
Oh,
the white rim. I'm not a fan of the white.
The
rims.
Yellows. It's yellow. Fucking.
I got it on my.
How about you turn on your fucking camera, smart ass? Why don't you show us what you look like? Show us. I'm just going to assume because you don't have your camera on, you're ugly as fuck since you got so much to say. I'm going to assume you're ugly as fuck, that you live in a shithole, and that you're ashamed of how you look. You're ashamed of doing what you're doing on the internet because you don't want to show your face. I'm going to assume all of this because you don't want to be on camera here. You're hanging out with a bunch of people that hide their faces on all the content they make. So unless you're going to, I don't mind. If you want to talk shit about how I look, I don't mind. Go ahead. But I can't return the favor. I cannot engage in that with you because you're hiding your fucking face. So instead of trying to make fun of how I look while you're hiding, why not show us what you look like? How about that?
Yeah, yellow.
Oh, it is yellow. Yeah, it is yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow. That's like
Of
sorry,
all
but
Predator
if he's gonna do like
no fair, yellow's a terrible choice.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Okay, whatever. Literally, you've got all these different colors on your fucking screen, but for some reason, yellow is bad. All right.
Yeah, if he's gonna do really base, surface level criticism, I'm gonna do it as well.
Where have I done any surface level criticism? I haven't even gotten to the criticism yet. I talked about a tweet, and I spoke directly to what the tweet was saying. It wasn't surface level. I was rebutting a specific claim in the tweet. I mean, I know you guys hate to hear this, but can we please have some literacy here? Some sort of accuracy, some sort of credibility. All right, let's go on. The top 3 of all Predator movies ever made.
That's crazy. Wow.
It must be good.
Top 3.
Must be
wow.
good.
The movie.
It's weird.
has-
That
Oh,
the
no,
top
here comes
3
Az.
are all the ones from the.
Are we just done with Despot's thing now, or have we just moved on?
Yeah, that was just a fun little weird thing he said about how Thea is not female. So actually, technically, that means that this Despot guy is totally wrong because she's actually a robot. Didn't you know? Didn't you even see the movie?
No, I was Jesus. this again, just either purposely misunderstanding me or you're too ignorant to understand me. The whole comment about the feminization of the media was being rebutted by me in the fact that there's no female present. And you guys view women and female as the same thing as displayed on this fucking panel. So how are you going to feminize a movie when there is no female there? How does that function for you? It just doesn't make any sense. That was my whole point. I was just showing how fucking dumb you are and how dumb he was. That was the point of that. And you guys proved it spectacularly when you didn't even understand the whole use of pronouns when it comes to gender versus sex. You proved it. And all of the smart people that do understand that are going to come over here and go, that was pretty fucking dumb of them. That was pretty fucking dumb because we understood what he meant. And that's the only people I care about. I don't care about idiots. Fuck idiots. Fuck all of them.
I mean, yeah. I'm pretty certain that despot, whoever this despot of Antrim is, he's never been right about anything, especially
my goodness,
anything that we've ever collaborated with him on.
Right. So there's a bias. See how that works? See how that works? You said earlier, I don't know if it was you specifically, but someone on this panel said something about me trying to do something to score points to get in with the studios and everything. That's a very relatable thing to what you just did, where you're backing up someone that you've collaborated with and saying that they're always right. Right? It's the same thing. You're trying to score points. You're trying to get brownie points. So there's a good parallel there. It's a good parallel. Some of the best fight scenes that you'll ever see in any of the Predator films.
Okay.
There's like 2 or 3 fight scenes that are just absolutely incredible that have nothing to do with this.
Predator Badlands.
I noticed they didn't rebut that. They didn't rebut that. That's actually a pretty subjective comment. I'm surprised they didn't rebut that. I would have loved to have heard what they thought about the fight scenes if they disagreed with me, but I guess they don't disagree with me. I guess they think the fight scenes are good because they didn't say anything. So
isn't a Predator movie.
Oh yeah, bonus as section, everybody. I thought it was amusing. Yes. Here we go. Bonus as section.
Hell yeah.
It is.
At all.
Number one. 100%. So it's really funny to me, like looking at the title of this, there's no mention of specific names on it in the title, and they react to multiple things in this video. So why is it while I'm reacting to multiple things that somehow that's weird or they have an issue with it? That I don't understand. Like the primary video that I react to in this clip is the critical drinker. But at the beginning, I have a few smaller segments that I talk about in the video. I don't know why that's strange. Okay.
I mean, officially, sure, but like
it has the branding, but the soul is, well,
in the same way that people say like, it's not fucking, with any of these IPs when they get their modern iterations.
TLJ isn't Star Wars, for instance.
Fucking Dial of Destiny. It's like, oh, Indiana Jones? Like, no.
So, I mean, where am I wrong? It's literally a Predator movie. I know you guys want to play this game about like, oh, but it doesn't feel like one of those movies, or it doesn't have the soul of those movies. But that's literally just a subjective take. That I am saying objectively, it's a Predator movie. You guys are arguing a subjective opinion, a feeling that some people might have about something. That's what I'm arguing here, is that to say it's not a Predator movie is objectively false. Like, there's no arguing that it's not. It is. It's a Predator movie. So that's my point.
You're like, well, actually it is.
Is it on the box?
Actually, it is.
The trailer said the advertisement.
I was under the impression that.
So it's about denying reality then. It's just like feelings over facts, I guess. Okay, say less.
Az could only yell pronouns. I didn't think he actually could speak.
There's a human in there. You can do all kinds of speaking.
Apparently. I'm shocked.
It's 100% a Predator movie. I don't know how.
Go ahead, call him a liar.
I mean, he is. If he's saying it's not a Predator movie, he's a liar. This is the laughing, the giggling, and the coping is juvenile cope. It's all bullshit. Like, it's just this video is all cope so far. Like, you're gonna argue that I am wrong because you feel like it's not a Predator movie. Well, fam, you've already given me the win then. You've already tossed me the W because it's literally a Predator movie. So I'm not wrong. I'm just saying.
You said it wasn't a Predator movie.
Just to tell you guys that is just it's a fucking dumb statement. It's a disingenuous, dumb statement from a brain rot channel.
Okay, so if you have a brain, then you probably be able to recognize pretty quickly that he's saying, as far as he's concerned, it does not slot in with what the franchise expectations are.
Then you would say it doesn't feel like a Predator movie. See, that's the difference. The language is important. It's really important. So let me explain to you what the difference is. It is a Predator film, but to me, it doesn't feel like a Predator film. That's how you would say that. It doesn't have the energy of a Predator film. It doesn't have the vibe of a Predator film, but it still is a Predator film, right? Those are all ways you could say that. Saying it's not a Predator film is a feelings over fact, bad faith statement to try and demean the actual movie. That's how you would say those things. But continue.
Very straightforward. Yeah. Unless, of course, you really want to believe that Az is trying to convince people it is not officially licensed as a Predator film.
So I'm supposed to mind read him now? Ooh, let me Professor X into Az's head to see what it is that he means. That's not how it works. It's not how it works, dude.
Is that what you think he's doing? Because
I don't know what he's doing. He's an idiot. Az is an idiot, so I don't know what he's doing. He could be playing fucking pocket pool right now, for all I know. I have no idea.
It's obviously in the case because that's what his complaint is. That it is that way. That's why he brought up that it isn't a Predator film. That'd be a weird thing to bring up if he was covering an Indiana Jones movie or something like that.
Number 2.
This movie's
Disney in their infinite wisdom, and by infinite wisdom, I mean complete and utter retardation.
Okay, Arsler. By the way,
yeah, baby, retard.
I love.
This segment has a lot of like R slurring for no reason. Just know it's juvenile humor. We're gonna skip over it right now. Disney made the last 2.
Dude,
don't you remember the Linus?
Remember
Linus
and
Prey? Which
hard R?
That fucking clip was glorious. Hard R. So many hard R's in American Dad. The guy's reaction where he just goes like,
I'm leaving this little segment in because I want you to see like the chunk of time they spend just completely off topic. But then they were giving me shit about anecdotes earlier. So let's just take a second here. Take a second here.
So confused, like what?
It's really awful because he was seriously reevaluating his friendship.
Yeah,
with
he was just like, you've been dropping hard R's. Why?
Have been incredible movies. So why is it that out of the 3 films, the one that you seem to have the biggest problem with is this one, but you're ignoring the animated
it's the
one?
PG-13 one.
And also, Az did not like Prey.
Okay, I want to be clear here. I said the one you have the biggest problem with is this one. The one you have the biggest problem with. That's a very important statement. Okay, let's run this back. I said the one that you have the biggest problem with is this one. Out of the 3 films, the one that you seem to have the biggest problem with is this one, but you're ignoring the animated
it's the
one.
PG-13 one.
And also, Az did not like Prey. Not at all. He thought it was shit.
Yes, so that...
Thought it was shit. He did not like it at all. Thought it was shit. Bookmark all of this as we go through this, because this is one of the clips I've seen. Bookmark this, and then let's see where they go with it.
That is worth noting. Not everybody is on the same, in that same,
Yeah,
view.
we're generally negative on it. It's got some things that are good in it, but overall it's a bad movie.
For me. I kind of like it, but I also kind of don't.
That's fair. It's easy to see why someone...
I want to just point this out for anybody that might be watching me for the first time or just need to be reminded of this. I don't care ultimately if someone likes or dislikes a movie. I'm not trying to twist anybody's arm or change their minds about it. If you don't like a movie, you have every right to not like a movie for whatever really good reason or really dumb fucking reason. That is your right to do that. I'm not trying to twist anybody's arm on that. I have an issue with people who get on the internet and use their platform to taint people's perception of movies with lies, mistruths, misinformation, disinformation, all of that. That is the issue that I have. And then I'll make fun of people from time to time. But if you just don't like a movie, I don't care. I don't have an issue with that.
Would like it because the parts that are good,
the
are
bag of
quite
things.
Guys, I really enjoy that sequence when he's fighting the French guys, but like that finale that is not great.
The bear thing, that's still top tier.
That's cool. Yeah.
I have no idea how to pronounce this in the chat, but a soft R would be retard. That's how it would be. You have to put a bunch of A's at the end.
Like you're from New York, Boston.
Yeah, you got to.
Hey, retard.
You got to put a bunch of A's at the end of it.
For the record, I skipped like several minutes. I'm not sure how many minutes I skipped of that because it was just a bunch of pointless banter. Let's continue.
Southern people, then it just comes out. But you know,
and you're not
like
talking
a chameleon. I'm a linguistic chameleon.
About Prey. I honestly, I don't know what Az's stance on Prey is. Probably not good.
Well, then you probably shouldn't assume it and then call out contradictions based on assumptions.
It is a full train of thought here in the video. I don't know what Az's opinion on Prey is, but I'm assuming it's not very good. That is a full train of thought. And my point was he still has the biggest problem with this movie. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to prove my point here in a second.
Stick chameleon.
About Prey. I honestly, I don't know what Az's stance on Prey is. Probably not good.
Well, then you probably shouldn't assume it and then call out contradictions based on assumptions. That's stupid.
I remember, you could always just get rid of this video. You could just like
you type in heel versus babyface.
Just like you could have gotten rid of all the dumb shit in your video that you guys have been talking about, and I've had to clip out because it's all pointless. Or just like you could have gotten rid of the fact that you didn't understand what cinema scores is. Or you could have cut out all the stuff where you didn't understand the difference between sex and gender. All those things could have been cut out. But here we are. Here we are, meeting on the same battlefield, right?
He's Prey and probably find his opinion. Probably wouldn't take long.
Maybe even Grok would say, like, you didn't like it. If you ask Grok, what is...
well, it took me 10 seconds, and his
that's 10 seconds too much, buddy.
His movie's called Predator Prey, as average a movie as you will ever see.
Okay, so the title of his video, according to these guys, is Prey, an average of a movie you will ever see. Average isn't shit. Average isn't shit. Mahler said that he thought that Az thought the movie was shit. So Mahler is incorrect here. He's wrong. You said that Az thought the movie was shit. Here, Rags is saying that the title of his video says average. Average is just okay. It's just an okay movie. It's middle of the road. It's not shit. You are wrong. You like chastising me. You're just as wrong as I was. If that's your standard.
I'm pretty sure he's. So many people say they don't like a movie, they call it mid or whatever. I'm so confused by this. Like,
right, because you caught yourself. See, that's when somebody catches themselves. That's what catching yourself is, guys. Pay attention, EFAP. That is what catching yourself is, which is that Az thought the movie was shit, but correction, he called the movie average, and now the cope is, well, people actually, when people say that, they mean something else. I don't know. So weird. So weird. Let's run back his cope here because it's really fucking funny.
It's called Predator Prey, as average a movie as you will ever see.
I'm pretty sure he's. So many people say they don't like a movie, they call it mid or whatever. I'm so confused by this. Like
that's so weird. You said that Az thought it was shit, but he's saying it's average. That's so weird. You could have just cut this part out. You could have just cut it out.
Middle of the road, it's bad, you know.
They use average as an insult, and it's like,
really? There's a lot of presumption on Az's meanings here. So now we're presuming what he means by average. Earlier, we were presuming what he meant by Predator is not a Predator. Badlands is not a Predator movie. There's a lot of presumptions going on here. A lot of projecting into what you think Az means instead of just taking it for what he says. That's really interesting, considering the criticism I'm getting for these people.
It seems like a scale reset sometimes.
I've said that before, where the fact that
everything you said was before.
Well, of course, but the fact that we've gotten to a point in society where mid or okay is considered a hard stance is so weird.
I think. Well, you should talk to Mahler because clearly that's what that was the media literacy that he had with Az's review, is that Az thought it was shit when he said it was average. So maybe you should speak to Mahler about that. The guy sitting on the panel with you right now.
Well, if anything, he's come to hate it even more than he would have day one, I guess. But yeah, he's never...
Right, so I would have to know a lot more about it than 10 seconds looking it up. If I took the time to look it up, I would see that Az thought that Prey was average, but he still dislikes Predator Badlands more, which goes back to my original statement that he has a bigger problem with Predator Badlands than he does with Prey. So I was actually correct. Again, let's continue.
Likes Prey
because of the fact that we know how he feels about women. So I could just...
My God.
Holy at least he knows. At least he recognizes Thea as a woman. So I don't know, man. I mean,
do you know?
Congratulations, you used the terminology correctly there. Yes, Thea is a woman in this sense. Congratulations, Rags. You're getting it now. You're starting to understand it. Cool.
They put a woman in the original Predator. There is a woman in that one. I don't know.
She's one of the only 2 survivors.
What's insane is Az likes that film.
That's about as bad faith as it gets. That is about as bad faith as it gets. Here's Mauler trying to genuinely, although very disingenuously, frame it as if the women that were in the first Predator movie are the equivalent of what Thea is in this film. I don't even think I really need to go further than that. Like anybody that's ever seen the original Predator and saw Predator Badlands would know that that framing is absolutely disingenuous. Bad faith as it gets. Doesn't get much worse than that.
I don't get it. I really don't. It's insane.
You would have liked it more if she got killed.
Yeah.
Messily.
Guess
she was devoured.
Have turned the Predator into a girl brand. It's now a girl brand.
So what makes it a girl brand? Because there's a woman in it?
Well, you gotta let him say.
Why? You cut me off earlier. Twice. You cut me off earlier before I finished my statement twice. Maybe more than that. So why is the standard different? You guys can pause me at any point and fucking armchair diagnose everything I'm saying. But when I do a wellness check and I pause someone to say what I have to say, there's an issue with that. That's a double standard.
Gotta keep going.
I mean, I would. I'd be like, oh, tell me more.
There's a woman in the film.
Did you let it go?
Not even like a biological female.
Let the video play.
Human being, like a synthetic woman that is only mimicking
with your
feelings
beautiful.
and emotions.
So this is a woman
English
in Predator, so it's probably not the idea, is it? It's probably someone else.
Well, let's look at the pattern here. The pattern, right? The Predator projects that have come out most recently are Prey and we have Badlands. The ones that feature women in some sort of like lead or co-lead role. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just assuming too much. Maybe that pattern doesn't mean anything.
Az is probably thinking about let him say the things.
It's not even really conveying feelings or emotions. So I don't really understand.
That's not even true. I explicitly said that she has emotions.
She does not. She doesn't really. Really is the qualifier there. She's not really conveying feelings or emotions because she is not a biological being who experiences real feelings or emotions based on the universe of Alien, which is where the synthetics come from. Everything we know, unless you're going to assume a lot of shit, tells us that the synthetics in this world do not experience feelings the way that human beings do. And she explains that the only reason they were given any sort of programming for feelings in this movie is so they could exploit other people, meaning that they were programmed through these feelings to exploit the species on the world. So they're not experiencing feelings the way that humans do, where we get to decode and decide what those things mean to us. There's programming involved with what she's doing. That's why she says and does the things that she does. The phrase really experiencing feelings and emotions, that entire statement is accurate because it is true. It's objectively true in this universe. For a group of people that like to talk about objectivity, like you're really not even engaging in that with this when it comes to my take.
And feelings.
Yeah. Specifically.
Also, if you're not biological, especially in the far, far future of synthetics and robots and androids, like to say, oh, none of that's real. They're not real emotions or real feelings. They're not even. You shouldn't even call them. Well, yeah, she. They can't even be.
So then that's a claim you're making. You'd have to provide evidence of your claim, right? So that's a claim. My claim is based on the history of the alien universe. That's what it's based on, even based on the most recent TV show. So there are lots of bits of evidence that support what I'm saying, but you are making a claim without any evidence provided. So you would have to provide some evidence to show that this particular synthetic is somehow experiencing real emotions that are different from the other iterations we've seen, or information that's not provided in this movie. But you don't have that. So it's all claims with no evidence.
Consequently, then he has to not be considerate of her safety at all. She is a tool to this guy, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, essentially. Like, why through the course of the movie, up until the jump we get at the end, why would he think of her as anything different than some sort of synthetic being? Why would he? He would have no reason to.
He is a. He's like a toaster.
Was right. Hashtag Deck was right.
At that point, even though the film clearly doesn't believe that.
So what was
he
that?
Is a tool to this guy, right? Like she is a. He's like a toaster.
Was right. Hashtag Deck was right.
At that point, even though the film clearly doesn't believe that.
I couldn't make out what he was saying.
So they do make sure to tell you, like, oh, you're a tool, and oh, I'm going to use you as a tool. But
that's his cope. That's his cope to get it. It's his loophole.
And it's the beginning of the movie, because there is the entire quite important scene when they first meet Tessa back alive and in the flesh, so to speak, and then she has the conversation with Thea, and Thea says, we can be more than what they made us, we can be sisters. And then Tessa says, do you know why they gave us feelings? To manipulate the environment.
Right. So she's saying that there is a programming issue with them when it comes to their feelings. And you can clearly see, since Tessa is an identical in terms of like the structure of what they do with their feelings, identical to Thea, and she's reacting differently, which means there's some sort of programming issue between the two of them. They're not really experiencing feelings and emotions. Something else is happening. Maybe we'll explore that in a future movie with this character. But as of right now, all we can run with is that they are like, we could assume that Thea is using these emotions to manipulate Tessa based on what we know of her. This programming that she has. We could assume that Thea was using those emotions to manipulate Deck. We don't know for sure because they don't explicitly tell us or explain anything to us. All we know is that's what she's designed to do. She is performing the functions that she is designed to do with exploiting things emotionally. So as far as we know, she's not really experiencing feelings and emotions, which that's what I said.
Basically. But then Thea makes the conscious decision that she's not going to be like her sister because her feelings about the environment matter more than her programming, etc. So like that's a big scene in the film. The feelings are a big important point of it. The fact that she has them is very important to her character.
But that doesn't mean anything. Again, show me in the film, give me that correlation to some sort of emotional journey in the movie that fundamentally changes Thea from when we first meet her. How do we know that wasn't already occurring when we first met her? How do we know that this is what she had always planned to do? How do we know any of these things? Now, if you want to argue that the filmmaker did a great job of conveying this in scenes in the movie, then you would be arguing that the movie did a really good job of telling that story, which would go against the idea that the movie is a bad film. If Thea's most important storyline in the movie is this emotional journey that she's on, if this is your stance, and you're saying that I misunderstood that and they actually did a good job of showing us that on screen, that would be suggesting that at least that portion of the movie is a good portion of the movie. So you would be arguing it from a different position on that if your take is the movie isn't good. So my position on it is that we don't know for sure if Thea was operating any differently than her technology and her programming was requiring her to do. We don't know that.
Yep. That's at least what the film's trying to put across.
Yeah. Yes. Sure. Doesn't do a very good job, but
no.
It doesn't do a very good job. All right. So it's my fault that the movie didn't do a good job of conveying that. That's my fault. Okay.
But it's trying. That's clearly the intent.
So you get an A for effort from these guys. A for effort. Only if it's to dunk on somebody you don't like. That clears. What do you mean by girl brand? Can you give us more than that? I'm very curious. You didn't watch the movie.
He did.
This movie has some of the most extreme deaths in the film.
Oh, come on. Whatever.
In the third act, particularly.
Only PG-13.
It's just not bloody.
It's barely more extreme than Itchy and Scratchy, dude. Like,
that's again, like, if Disingenuous was a career and this video were an example of like, or a job application, then these guys would get hired on the spot, especially Mauler. You're comparing this to Itchy and Scratchy just for let's compare a cartoon TV show to this movie, and then and do that in a way that like explains the difference between a rating or R rating and a PG-13 rating. By the way, they're clipping stuff out. I'm not clipping any of my video from their reaction. They've clipped out portions of my video for whatever reason. I don't know why, but there's portions of my video missing from here.
I just don't think people.
Itchy and Scratchy is more extreme.
The most extreme deaths.
Itchy and Scratchy is more gnarly.
The most extreme deaths in the series are probably in the second movie.
I mean, again, this is a subjective opinion. Like, it's me stating how I feel about it, engaging with the movie on the grounds of like creative decisions that the movie made. I think it's fine to have a different opinion than me. If you think other movies have done more violent stuff, that's fine. There's no way to quantify that other than the rating of the movie, which is the point that I was making in my statements.
Probably, yeah. But the first one, is in the selection.
Yeah.
I feel like they had to up the ante with the second movie. They had to be like, okay, different location, different, more graphic deaths,
I mean, remember also in Itchy and Scratchy, the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Again, I had to skip over a bunch of stuff. I don't want to sit there and listen to them talk about their favorite Itchy and Scratchy.
Disappears. I just can't remember what it was.
Because we're not talking about flesh and blood people. It's aliens.
But that's a huge...
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
That is a huge, basically intrinsic, because we're human, difference between how violent.
Also, now the differences in synthetics and humans matter. Now the nuance there matters. Now it's important. Earlier, when I was making a point of showing that the synthetic woman was not biological, to push back against the terms about feminization, girl brand, all of that. When I was doing that, it was funny and weird. But here, when we're talking about the rating of the movie, which is the part they cut out, we're talking about the difference of a rating from PG-13 and rated R. Now that I'm going into the reason why the movie is still very graphic and very violent, even though it's on synthetics, it suffered a lower rating because we're talking about people that are not human, synthetics that are not human. So now they're arguing from the opposite side. So now we're going to have a conversation about the difference between biological humans and synthetic beings. It's interesting how they shift that around.
Perceived.
Be absolutely clear. There is something else going on. It's not because you can have a blue man who's got blue insides getting killed in a very graphic, gory, and rough tonally way. Mm-hmm. Or you can have him explode Mortal Kombat style and blood splatters everywhere and everyone goes, hey.
What difference does that make to anything that I'm saying here? I just want to point out they have not actually dismantled any of my positions here so far. Like subjective stuff I don't care about. If they disagree with me on like whether or not it's the most violent deaths, the best fight scenes, whatever, anything subjective that they have, I don't care about. The stuff that I am debunking here, the stuff that I'm pushing back against, where I'm stating objective reality, like when I'm doing that, they haven't dismantled any of that so far. They're doing a really bad job. It's a really bad job.
It's about portrayals. This is about what effects you use. If Blaine's blood was blue when he got killed, it would still look rough as fuck.
But that doesn't matter because you clipped out the part where I was talking about the difference between PG-13 and rated R. I'm not going to argue with you whether or not one looks more violent than the other. That's entirely subjective. That's like, if you think it looks more violent, fine. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter to me. I thought it was pretty violent watching these synthetic beings ripped apart. It's subjective shit. Like, I'm not like you are going off on something that has nothing to do with the point I was making, which is that the movie was rated PG-13 because we weren't seeing human blood. That's an objective fact.
Just be like, oh, I guess he's an alien.
If violence was just violence and there was no other context to it, like he seems to be saying here, then that means that like the Phantom Menace is the goriest of all of the Star Wars movies, because look at all those battle droids getting chopped up by lightsabers.
It's horrifying. Yeah, really.
Right, because the battle droids are meant to look like actual human beings. That's another bad faith, disingenuous take. They know it. They're still saying it. And I'm not arguing anything about whether or not something is necessarily more bloody or gory than the other thing, and that makes it different from that standpoint. I'm arguing about the way the rating system works. PG-13 and rated R. So they're straw manning my position. They're not actually steel manning what I'm saying, because I'm right.
Those guts.
Also, you do see Darth Maul get cut in half, technically.
A bit of blood as well.
See before that.
Yeah, a little splash of blood.
So you get a lot of that in the third act. A lot of it they were capable of doing because it wasn't supposed to be humans. That's why, even though it's PG,
why do they do this every time? They highlight themselves why it's not R-rated, and then they're like, "But it's fine though, because it's still violence."
What are you arguing? I don't know what you're arguing against here. I'm only stating the fact that the movie had a lot of violence in it that they were able to achieve because it wasn't actual human blood. That's the only point I'm making here, is that the movie was still very violent. So I don't know what you're like, what all this extra rah-rah bullshit is for. I don't understand. 13, it's extremely violent.
They should seriously watch it. Chin Scratchy.
I saw a Marvel computer chair and just kind of disregarded everything this guy was going to say after.
Again, turn your fucking camera on. If you're going to talk like shit about just every random thing around me, like turn your camera on.
Afterwards.
Wow, Marvel hater.
Well, yeah, you don't. He's got a Spider-Man like seat, but he's got the Flash on his T-shirt. You got to pick one.
There's no universe.
Look at this split loyalty.
Gifted this thing.
There's no universe where I wasn't gifted this thing. What the fuck? What are you even talking about? Is that supposed to be an insult? Whether or not I paid for the chair or somebody gave it to me? That's really fucking weird. Also, in terms of like the Marvel and DC stuff, you guys associate with people that have fucking posters of Star Wars and Star Trek together on the wall. You associate with people who have fucking ISOM mixed with DC and shit. Like, what kind of fucking... This really is some of the worst shit I think I've heard. In terms of like trying to take me on. The five of them are so bad at this. Y'all are so fucking bad at this. And all of your fans out there who defend you, how are you defending these folks? How, like, what are we doing here? What's really happening?
No, he's a real fan.
Because there's not a lot of blood.
It's about love and friend.
I've never, like, real fan. When have I ever used that fucking terminology? That's, God, man. These guys just have nothing but ad hom shit.
Friendship.
Where's the love?
Like in your life, Eric?
He is actually like fucking around, right? Like, he does remember the scene where Deck's like, oh, hey, Callus. Yeah, look at you. Aren't you great? I respect you and I appreciate you. You know.
So you're talking about the shared moment between the Callus and Deck? It's really interesting because they paused it before I finished my statement where I specify what kind of love I'm talking about. But we're going to let them go on a little bit, say what they have to say, because I'm very specifically talking about something related to the image that is posted here and what Az is talking about. This is like the whole idea where I said there's no female stuff going on in reference to the biological aspects of this android, the synthetic. Like, there's no female stuff going on because this being is not biological. And they try to, well, the Callus is, you know, must be a female because it had a baby, even though we don't know the biology of this creature. We have no clue how that functions. But that's what they were saying, right? And here we are again, pausing me where I'm talking about the love in the movie, and I'm being very specific about what kind of love I'm talking about because I'm responding to Az's questions and comments about love. But I'm going to let him go on a little bit
before it exploded.
Well, I mean, the beginning, Quay sacrificed himself to give his brother a chance at honor. Like that's obviously brotherly love. He sacrificed himself.
Right. Yeah, because that's the kind of love I'm talking about.
Like, obviously, not all love is romantic because you learn.
Oh, not all love is romantic. It's interesting. So I wonder if I'm talking about romantic love. I wonder if that's what I'm talking about. Let's see.
In, like,
and you know,
first grade literature
class. She could be
you learned this from being a human being.
Kind of, yeah. He's like, what? You think I love my parents romantically? I know I'm from Arkansas, but chill.
There are some people out there who have weird fetishes, but yes, for the majority of human beings, we don't love our parents romantically.
Okay.
The theme of the movie is meant to be that Deck is going to become like the leader of a pack that he cares for and takes care of, and we see that pack at the end of the film. So how is he saying like I thought you liked this movie?
Yeah.
Well, he's just asking.
Think that you'd be able to do a better job.
You should be saying yes, this is in the film and it's great. That's what you should be saying.
Right.
Not
just quoting
what love.
a Black
Your
Eyed Peas
observation
song.
is
That's
accurate.
all.
Your analysis is wrong.
Just quoting the song name. That's all he did. Where is the love?
Where's the love?
It's like an echo of you.
In this movie at all.
No.
Oh, it's almost like I was directly responding to Az and this image and the idea that there's some sort of romance between these two characters in the movie, which leads to the feminization and girlification of the Predator brand. It's almost like that's what I was talking about. Not any of the other potential love moments in the movie. Some of them you could argue, a lot of them you can't. But it's like I was talking specifically about that, and you paused my video before I got to the point. You know, you could have cut this part out. Could have cut this out. Because contradictions after assuming something is really bad, right, Mahler? It's really bad. Let's run that back. I just want to be clear here that I was talking about romantic love, and they never once disproved my point at all. And they were wrong about what I was talking about.
Where is the love?
Where's the love?
It's like an echo of you.
In this movie at all.
No, bro. There is.
I was talking about romance, romantic love. Right. So all of those assumptions you made about my statement, because you paused it so quickly, you were all completely straw manning what I was talking about. Such a well invested amount of time there.
Did you know that was coming up?
Well, Rags is the one that made this. I haven't seen this before.
I claim no credit for anything regarding anything.
Holy shit!
Zero.
I found this video on the side of the road and thought it'd be neat.
Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. Let me show you guys why that's a lie. Rags here has been subscribed to me since 2023. So that is a lie. Nice try, though. Nice try, Rags. Appreciate that.
To bring home, so I did.
You found some roadkill and you wanted to show it.
Eric debunks roadkill.
The roadkill that he's been subscribed to for a couple years now. That's funny.
This dude who just happened to be on the side of the road.
I thought he had a really neat hat with his flat brim, which I hate.
This guy has a lot to say about how I look. I mean, if you want to date or something, maybe you should possibly show your face. DM me with some information about yourself. You're really concerned about how I look, about what my glasses look like, about the kind of stuff I have in my room, what my hat looks like a lot of comments about the things around me and what's on my body. So it's really interesting, man. Look, I don't know if you're my type or not. DM me with an actual picture so I can see what you look like.
hate by those, by the way, the flat brim caps.
So you hate everything, man. You hate hats with flat brims. You hate colored glasses. You hate Marvel stuff. You hate DC stuff. You hate chairs. Like just all of it.
You prefer them
I just
curved-ish, yeah.
I prefer them curved.
They
yeah,
don't actually provide any type of protection from the sun.
I like them.
Yeah, because I'm out in the sun. That's I'm doing this now because I'm trying to protect myself from the sun. It's not a fashion thing. It's just because the sun is so bright in this really dark room that I'm in with all of my LED lights on.
Curved and short. That's all my hats. I'm a hat guy. I like those short brim hats. They don't stick out too far.
I prefer helicopter
just enough
hats.
to get the job done.
A little curve
with a little
not way too long. That's the way to
those
go.
are good though. Yeah, the helicopter hats are kind
You can fly.
They're kind of excellent.
Like romantic connection with any of these characters, right? At all. Interesting. If you would have allowed me to finish my statement like you chastised me for doing to Az earlier. Hypocritical much? Possibly. If you would have allowed me to finish my statement, you could have saved yourself a lot of time making tons of straw man arguments. The situation is that the main character...
Here he goes, explaining the whole fucking movie, because that's what they all do, as though it's a response to anything that was just said.
Sure. Yeah, see, there's this thing where these guys lie about stuff, and then in order to disprove their lie, you have to explain what really happened. Crazy, I know that that's the world we live in, where the burden of proof is on us to prove them wrong by using actuality, by going, no, this is what actually happened in the movie, not what they're saying, not the narrative they're painting, not the lies they're telling you. This is what actually happened in the movie. Crazy that we have to do that in 2025, but yet here we are. Here's where we're at. His brother, we're going to get into spoiler territory here. His brother ends up sacrificing himself to allow the younger brother to go out and prove himself to get the honor of the family.
Sacrifices himself out of what?
Again, did you not hear what I said earlier? I wasn't disputing familial love or friendship or any of those things. I was directly addressing the concept of romantic love. So you're still arguing a straw man, which is an argument that I never made. I never made the argument that there was no sort of like relationship between him and his family. I never said that anywhere in this video, even in the clips that you cut out.
Mild resentment.
Does that count as
He's a friend.
He's a friend. It happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Platonic as a friend
of the clan.
I love
There's
you platonically,
no
brother.
or romance or anything of that sort in this movie between.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fuck his brother. That's for
there
sure.
you go.
There's none.
I do.
Zero.
I want to do that.
Not even between the synthetic and her sister. There's no feeling.
Quotes on it. Air quotes.
Right, because it's a one-sided scenario. Tessa does not consider herself sisters with Thea. So it's not an actual sister relationship. That's why I use air quotes. She says we could be sisters. We could be those things. And then she's rejected on that. So the air quotes are appropriate. I mean, okay.
I can't commit to them being female.
It's always based on some sort of like relationship outside of romance or love. That's the way the movie is designed. And it's done that way on purpose because we're not dealing with humans.
There's only one
We're
kind
not
of
dealing
love,
with people. We're dealing with an alien race.
Well, but
this
purposefully
is
you are supposed
they're aliens they can't love.
They are AI, but they're very advanced and they've been given feelings such that they can even directly countermand their presumed programming.
No, they are given feelings specifically to exploit the indigenous species on the planet. They're not given feelings to hook up with somebody else. Again, you are making an argument without any evidence to back up your claim. My claims here are based on what we actually see in the movie, which is that there is no romantic relationship between Deck and Thea. It doesn't exist. It's not there. It's not even hinted at anywhere in the movie. So my claim is backed up by evidence. Your claims now are backed up with nothing. You have nothing to back this up.
That is common in sci-fi.
It might be common in sci-fi, but it's not the story they're telling in this movie, which is the whole point of me talking about Az here having a crash out over this fucking fan art. That's the whole fucking point. That's the only reason I was even reacting to his video.
You'd consider her a person more than likely, but if you don't want to, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It doesn't get much worse than this. You don't have to think of someone in a romantic or sexual way to legitimize their personhood. That is a dumb take. Someone's personhood is not reliant on whether or not you're going to fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't go, well, Eric's not a person because we're not having some sort of romantic relationship. Therefore, personhood revoked. That's not how that works. Personhood does not rely on whether or not you're going to smash. I hate to tell you.
That's fine. But I mean, even as he's talking about the Yautja that way, the aliens that way.
Maybe a better way of putting it. Do you think Dan Trachtenberg would be happy that you're saying these things?
I don't give a fuck. You guys trash directors, writers, actors. You and the group you associate with do that all the time. So I'm not going to sit here and take some sort of moral beating from you guys about how I talk about a movie because I'd be concerned about what the director thinks. Give me a fucking break. Like, legitimately. Just get fucked.
Well, apparently, yeah. He said this is how the movie was designed.
When you apparently like this film, do you think he'd be thrilled when you're like, yeah, I mean, she's not even a person, really, and she has feelings?
I didn't say that. You're building a straw man. I didn't say she wasn't a person. I was saying she's not a biological female. Personhood does not require or need some sort of biological component to legitimize it. My statement here is about the relationship between this alien species and a synthetic being who's not even a Yautja. That is my fucking point.
And there's no love in this movie at all between any of the characters.
I did again. More straw mans. Just keep building those straw man. Are you going to steel man my position at any point? At any point in this video?
When Quay sacrificed his life to save Deck and give him a chance at honor, that wasn't love or anything.
That's not the kind of, that's not what I'm talking about. You already know.
Anything, because he's an alien. They don't have that.
No. Disgusting aliens.
I was like, okay.
The more I look at this guy's setup, the more I hate him.
Oh.
It's just this no brand loyalty. I can't tell if he's on or off air with that sign.
Right, so
no brand loyalty. Are we still going on about like the mismatched fandom stuff? Are you, like, I can't take this guy seriously. Straight up. Can't take him seriously.
Do you prefer it if he had brand, like if it was just
I would
Marvel
prefer
stuff?
if he had some brand loyalty.
So you'd prefer if I had brand loyalty. So what about all the fucks you hang around, including Az, who has mismatched brands behind him? Like, come on. Be for real. Like, is this juvenile hour? What the fuck are we doing?
Oh, Nerdrotic taking shots. Nerdrotic taking shots.
Hey, I have no, it's this specific guy because he goes so far out.
Oh, Mahler bailed you out on that one. You weren't even self-aware enough to understand that you're literally trashing people that you hang out with to try and get a go at me. You know what I mean? To try and get one over on me. That's fucking, it's pathetic, man. It's pathetic.
This is specific guy.
I'm so proud of his way to have the Marvel logo back there. If Gary doesn't have a Marvel logo.
I'm pretty sure he has a lot of logos behind him on the wall. I'm not even going to pull up a clip. Matter of fact, I guarantee he's got like Batman logos, Superman logos, Spider-Man logo. Like, he's got a bunch of logos behind him. Come on, man. Like, stop digging the
my knowledge.
He has a Batman and Superman icon, but I guess you could say the same
not
company.
The Marvel or DC logo.
That makes all the difference. That makes all the difference. Okay. Clowns. It's a fucking clown car. This is a fucking clown car.
I think that's arbitrary, but I'll allow it.
I'm just coming up with ways to hate this guy.
No, I think I'm with you. I think I'm with Dark Hour on this. I get what I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah.
She's on a planet and synthetics there to do a job. That's it. There's no room.
And girls doing all the talking. And girls telling predators how they should live their lives. And predators being like, yes, I'm going to listen and do exactly what you say.
That's absolutely not what happens in the movie.
I mean,
That is though.
That is what happens.
Well, at the end, yeah. At the beginning.
Oh, at the very end. At the very end. Okay, so exactly where at the end does he, without any agency, just listen to her and do what she says without any agency? There is one part of the movie where I could say she says something and he does go along with her at one point, but there's still agency there because he understands what's going on. He doesn't just listen to her. There's lots of examples in the movie. We'll hear them here from me in a second, but there's lots of examples in the movie where he doesn't listen to her. It absolutely does, just completely disregards everything she says. And Az is making it seem like every decision that is made in this movie is done so at the behest of the synthetic woman.
He doesn't, but then at the end he realizes he was wrong and she was right. And then he uses that knowledge to win the movie.
That's absolutely not what happens in the movie, because the main character, the predator in this movie, rejects everything that she does along the way.
Until...
Oh, so that's the goalpost, is that if 99% of the movie, the predator, Deck, rejects what Thea says, if that's what happens in 99% of the movie, then as framing it like it happens through the entire movie, he's going to be correct because it happens in 1% of the film. But I'm wrong because the vast majority of the movie, he doesn't listen to her. That's like, this is dick sucking at another level. You know what I mean? Like, even on my best days doing it, I couldn't suck it the way they're doing. You would think that Az has given them the best sex that they've ever had, the way they are fucking going on the front lines for him. Here he is making it seem like the movie is the predator bending over and taking a strap on from this android, right? That's the way he's framing it, because he keeps calling it a girl movie, saying a girl brand. They were saying the feminization. You would think that's the movie they're talking about. He's still showing the picture next to him, when in fact, that's not the movie at all. But they're going to bat for Az because there's one part of the hour and 47 minutes of this movie, there's one part that you could argue she tells him to do something and he takes her word on it and does it. One part of the movie. Okay, let's see how far they're going to take this. I'm just going to let this run out. Let's go.
Till the end when he realizes that she was right. Yeah, and does it and then wins.
That she tries to convince him of doing, he rejects.
Until
what happens?
He rejects it when she tries to talk him into keeping a...
Yeah, you can hang on this point forever, but you're going to have to eventually address the end of the...
It's not a point. It is multiple points, because it goes throughout the film where he rejects her. Let's continue.
Movie.
An alien species.
What does the film has to say?
This alien helped him. He rejects that. He rejects her talking all the time. He rejects her form of humor.
Wow, he's extending this as long as he can.
I'm doing it because I'm providing evidence for my claim. And even with all of this evidence, this is just proving a point here. Even though I'm providing copious amounts of evidence to back up what I'm saying, and anybody that saw the movie would know this, even though I'm doing this, you're still ignoring it because you're playing for a team. EFAP is nothing but a fucking cleanup team for all of these other guys now. Critical Drinker, Az, Nerdrotic, y'all just clean up. That's it. After they blow their loads, you come through and you just clean up for them. That's what this channel is now. So in other words, I can sit here and give you 20 examples from the movie where he rejects anything she says, but because there's one arguable moment in the movie where she tells him to do something and he decides to go along with it, that makes me and everybody else who watched the movie and saw that this is not the case, we're all wrong. These guys should not be criticizing films or anything of that nature anymore with this much fucking bad faith.
Avoid saying what happens next.
Rejects everything about her. Matter of fact, the only time that they actually get to a point where they're sort of in line with each other is at the very end of the movie, in the last scene of the movie.
Actually, that's not true.
Well, not true.
It happens way before.
Way before.
It happens.
Well, tell me, where does it happen? Why don't you back up your claim with some evidence and explain why you believe that it happens before that and provide some sort of context. Because if you don't do that, I'm going to assume you're just making it up. So let's see if you do that.
She sacrifices herself to help him escape, and then out of love and loyalty, he goes around picking up all the other creatures that he loves.
That's not. Wait, hold on. That's her telling him what to do. It sounds to me like that was him making a conscious decision through, as you guys would describe it, some sort of love element to go back and help her. I would argue it's not love, it's friendship, because they don't know each other well enough to even have like that sort of level of love from each other. He does want to help her. I would say a friendship is fair enough. Love is a stretch for me. Even if you wanted to argue that, it's a stretch for me. But that is showing that he decides to do that. She doesn't tell him to do it. He decides to do it. That is a disingenuous framing. And if, to be quite honest, if you believe that, I would say you lack media literacy. I know you hate this, you guys hate to hear that, but media literacy is accuracy and credibility. And if you're not going to try and do either one of those things, then you're absolutely illiterate to the media you're watching, either on purpose or from stupidity and ignorance.
To go back and rescue her.
You have to understand, he knew what was happening well ahead of time. He was like, okay, so absolutely the Predator does what she says by the end. How can I make that sound?
Specifically, where does she do it? Where? Because he said it was before that. You didn't co-sign on that. You're like, I'm not co-signing that. So you're saying it happens at the end. So where does it happen? Where does it happen? I'm very curious. I want to know where they think it happens at.
The complete opposite. He rejects her. He rejects her at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He rejects her after the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Soon after the beginning.
It's almost like he doesn't just listen to her, which is what Az said, which is the evidence I was providing to rebut what Az said. But you guys don't like that because you're not even disagreeing with me. You're not even disagreeing with me. You are agreeing with me here. You're saying that what I'm saying is true, but for some reason, you're not agreeing that Az is not telling the truth or he's being somewhat dishonest here. That's a little weird.
The dialogue, he rejects her. Her advances, her advice.
There was no advances. There's no advances at all. But okay, let's continue.
Her jokes. So after the of the beginning, he rejects it. The middle of the movie,
almost rejection. Like I was right.
And past the middle, you've got past the middle. That's a rejection, and when you get to the end, rejection until the very end.
Last 2 seconds of film.
Which, by the way, would still make Az correct, even if...
Okay, so let's unpack this quickly. They agreed with me that the majority of the movie, the vast majority of the movie, he doesn't listen to her. And even at the very end, you could argue whether or not he actually, quote unquote, listens to her. You could argue that, right? They agree with me. Az says that in his clip here, he says that she tells him to do stuff and he just listens to her. Somehow, after all of that, they say Az is still right. Could you finger him any harder here? Could you? Is it possible? Could you rizz him up a little bit? Play with the nipple? Whatever it is you're trying to do, any harder than what you're doing it right now. You did not disprove anything that I said. You agree with me, and you still say Az is right. EFAP is a fucking joke. This must be stand-up comedy. Really bad stand-up comedy, but still stand-up comedy.
If that was true. So it's like, you're so desperate, dude.
I'm desperate? Okay. You guys are the ones watching a channel that has less than 8,000 subs, but I'm the desperate one. Me. Okay.
And even if it did happen at the very end, then it implies that it happened way before because he had to travel back and forth. And obviously Bud had grown quite a bit. And we don't know the time difference between those two.
Oh, so we're just assuming shit now. That's what we're doing. Now we're just assuming shit. Okay.
So happened in the timeline a lot sooner, even worst case scenario.
How do you know? Where in any point at the end of the movie does it show that he only listens to Thea? Literally nowhere. Literally nowhere.
So
know to what extent he's accepted her as part of his clan, because we don't know where the franchise is going to go after this.
No. You can't do
my
that.
man. The whole point at the end of the film is they are the pack.
Yeah.
This is the new pack.
So it's wrong for me to say that I'm not going to speculate on where the franchise is going. It's wrong for me to do that. But when your boy Rags here speculates during that gap at the end of the movie a bunch of shit, that's okay. He can speculate about stuff that isn't said at all in the movie, but I can't say I'm not going to speculate on things we don't know. That's wrong. We have no clue the dynamic of that team. No clue whatsoever. At the end of the fucking movie, spoilers for the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, we see the three of them standing side by side outside of the ship. And we're supposed to surmise from that somehow she's in charge? Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Fucking dumb.
He says
can we just be clear? In an attempt to prove as wrong, he has now damaged like the film's whole story. You know what I mean? Like he's dismantling the story in order to make as wrong.
How? What part of the film story am I dismantling here that has damaged anything? I'm curious.
I mean, and to stress how wrong he is, both of the major boss kills in this movie are team endeavors that the movie goes out of its way.
Also, it's another straw man. I never said they didn't work as a team. And that's not what Az said either. Az says that he listens to her and never says no to her. But basically, that he is her bitch. That is not the same thing as a team. You're building a straw man. I never said they weren't a team. Never made that statement. I don't even think I used the word team at all in the clip that you're watching. Never said that.
Almost implausibly to make team endeavors. So you get the fight with Tessa and the giant loader, which is won first by the Kalisk, and then she explodes the Kalisk from the inside with the ice grenade, because why not? And then it's a combination of Deck killing her to save Thea, and then little baby Grogusaurus also does this.
Also, it's a combination. It's almost like working together as a team does not have one person bossing the other person around, which is the statement that Az made, that you keep saying that he was right about. But here, you're completely proving that he is wrong by making your arguments. If they were working together as a team, he wasn't just blindly listening to her. You're agreeing with me.
Same thing. And then when they go to fight the dad at the end, the same thing happens. All three of them are involved in killing it. And
no, they're not. They're not. Deck fights the father, and then the Kalisk bites the head off. That's how the dad dies. That's how that happens. But you'd have to watch the end of the movie to know that. Thea did not engage in that fight at all. Matter of fact, we see her walk up after the Kalisk, Bud actually bites his father's head off. So if anything, she's excluded from the final battle, which again proves my fucking point that she's not controlling them anywhere in the movie. He doesn't just listen to her blindly. So I don't know how much glazing you have to do of Az here to try to prove him right, but this ain't it. This ain't it.
Then they have the nice sort of team up Avengers moment at the end.
There's no team up Avengers moment. Literally at the end, Deck basically tries to get back into the clan, fights his father. His father won't accept him back in. So then the fucking Bud walks over, bites his head off, and then Thea walks up. That is the chain of events. There's no Avengers moment at the end. What are you even
They look
about?
at the horizon, at the ship coming at them, and that's the Avengers meeting up for the next threat that's coming. So the movie's not subtle about this. So
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no Avengers allegory in this movie at all. So you guys say you hate Disney and shit so much, but then everything always goes back to that. I don't know how you saw Avengers. Like in my mind, I would have never compared anything in this movie to the Avengers. But okay.
So either this guy's a complete fucking moron, or he is deliberately lying to himself.
You just lied right now. You just lied. You said that Thea worked with them to defeat the father at the end, when in fact she did not. So you're the one that's lying.
All he needed to say was, yeah, a female character has the correct perspective. That doesn't make it a franchise for women.
And you could follow up with, they have their conflict, and he incorporates some.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm supposed to just let Az tell a lie? That's what I'm supposed to do. And then pretend like, oh, well, that's okay. He's lying about the movie, but it's okay if a woman in the movie is right. So then you guys could laugh because then I didn't provide any evidence of my claim. I didn't counter the argument. I didn't dispute what Az said. Yeah, I don't play that game. Fuck that.
Some of the things that she says. You could have said that.
Right? Some of them. Yeah, not all of them. You could say that as well. Like, but this isn't, it's not hard to disagree. You know,
well,
like,
he's hurt himself in confusion.
Where am I confused? Where's the confusion at? I don't, is confusion in the room with us? I mean, where am I? I'm very clear on what I'm saying here. In this video you're reacting to. There is no confusion.
Favor of the film. Exactly.
He's flailing. He's
flailing? That's a pretty big exaggeration. I'm very calm in like almost every video I make. If you think this is flailing, maybe you need some media literacy. If you think this is flailing, I'm going to keep saying that because, you know, it's right and it triggers you guys.
For it to prove as wrong. And so he's actually like converted the movie into a different story now.
Oh.
This film was just some basic alien that was having issues with his dad, and his dad cast him out and said, "Don't you come back until you've proven yourself."
That's not what the dad, before I even respond here, that's not what the dad said. The dad wanted his brother to murder him because he was the runt. His dad wasn't going to give him an opportunity to prove himself at all. So again, this is why I don't think Az watched the movie, because that's not how it goes down. At the beginning of the movie, it's very clear the father wants Deck to be killed for being a runt. There is no opportunity for him to prove himself. I'm saying that because my next statement doesn't fully explain that, because I figured most people that saw the movie would know that, but they're going to misunderstand that because this is another part of the video I've actually seen. Media literacy. These.
Oh, there it
God.
is.
Az hasn't even finished his fucking point yet. You don't even know what he's going to say.
He doesn't have to say anything else because he just lied. He just lied. He either lied out of ignorance or he lied on purpose. So why would I let someone finish their point if the beginning of that point is predicated on something that isn't true? Why would I do that? That's fucking dumb.
Jesus Christ, man.
That's how good his media literacy is. He knows what point he's going to make before he's even finished.
I wasn't addressing the point that was coming up. I was addressing what he just said, you dumb fuck.
So literate.
Fuckers.
It helps that the guy actually looks like the soy jack for media literacy as well. Oh. He would just be made into that.
Why don't you show yourself? Y'all have a lot to say about looks, but you don't want to show your face. Bunch of fucking cowards.
I'm just going to be this guy. I'm just going to make a video. I'm just going to be like, everybody's wrong. I'm right.
Media literacy. That's all you got to say.
Yeah, because it actually means something. You guys hate that term because it actually calls you out for what you're doing, which is being inaccurate on purpose and lacking in credibility, which is what media literacy actually requires. And you don't have either of those. And you hate when people call you out on that. Zero. None at all. The whole concept, the premise of this movie, the foundation of this movie that you learn about in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the film is he is a disgrace to his clan. He's what they considered a runt. He's a very small human.
He's doing it again. He's just like randomly explaining parts of the movie. Az hasn't finished his point.
Because I'm not disputing what he's going to say. I'm disputing what he's actually saying, which is that that his father had an argument with him and, oh, just go prove yourself. That's not what the fuck happened. That's not what happened in the movie.
Said if the blah 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 blah, like we need to hear what the rest of it is to know what he's going to say.
He is a runt, so therefore he's smaller than everybody. He needs to prove himself. And I'm gonna keep talking about that until everybody understands that I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
So where am I wrong? You still have yet, like, nowhere in this have you proven me wrong on anything. You either just go, yeah, everything you're saying is true, but Az is still right, or you just ignore literally what happened in the movie because you want to talk shit about me. I love people that want to talk shit, you know, because I do it myself. But the thing is, if you're going to argue with me, at least steel man my position. Stop building straw men. Actually steel man my position. Sized predator who doesn't seem to be able to do anything to prove to the rest of his family and his clan that he deserves his cloak, that he deserves the honor of being a part of this clan. His father wants to murder him. He wants his brother, his other son.
You should just do this every time Az says a word and just pretend you're winning the argument. Because
the fucking your stream is literally called Every Frame a Pause, and you're mad because of where I'm pausing it. Get fucked.
This is all that's happening right now. So does the video keep reverting to anything for you guys too?
Yeah. His brother.
Yeah, every time you pause it, it seems like it goes back. It goes to the end. It's weird.
Weird, man.
His other son to murder this tiny predator in front of him simply because he is too small and too tiny for the clan, and he's a disgrace to them. This is the setup of the movie. This is why this story sets into motion. This is why we are where we are with this character.
Okay.
Let's take a look at Critical Drinker. So no rebuttal to that? No response to that? Y'all did an awful job of disproving anything that I said in this portion of the video. Awful job. How are you going to sit here and just ad hom and straw man and never once really address anything that I'm talking about? How are you going to do that? Get mad when I provide evidence for my claims? It's kind of crazy, actually. It really is kind of crazy. Now, because these guys have a whole another segment of me talking about Critical Drinker, and this one is already coming up on it's going to be close to at least an hour and a half of this video. I'm going to edit this one, upload this as part 1. The Critical Drinker portion will be part 2. And if it's anything like this one, I can only assume there's going to be a lot of dick sucking from these guys, and that there's going to be a lot of disingenuous strawmans, ad homs, all of that stuff. I'm fully expecting that. So look for that video tomorrow. All right, we'll see you guys then.